to the channel. I just thought that I would do a follow-up video from the previous one about the, shipping the container. I had a few comments, so I just really wanted to just clarify a few things really, and yeah, it's just to give additional information. So someone was asking why we didn't sort of get rid of our things from the UK and buy things when we come to Jamaica. I was actually going to do that, to be quite honest, because I thought it would be better to be on the ground, basically, and look for our property. I thought that would be better, so it would be easier just to get rid of everything. Just bring, have the money and buy when we come here. But few people advised just bring your stuff, bring everything. So it wasn't that easy. I didn't think it was an easy process to find a shipping company. I used Google search and put in shipping companies, containers for Jamaica, and basically it was just bringing up containers. So you can either rent one. I did contact a company and they said they rent them and sell them. So you can rent it for like, it was over £2,000, and if you buy it, it was coming up at over 4,000. But then you have to organise absolutely everything else yourself. And so I did get a few quotes back that were coming up at over 20,000. Thought we just can't do that. So next thing is like word of mouth is definitely the best recommendation. So yeah, I've got a family member that has shipped things and does ship things, and asked the family member, and they suggested Transpakship. They've been using them for years. So made some inquiries. Yeah, so what I liked about Transpakship is that they responded very quickly. I mean, somebody came out and to have a look at what we got. But to be honest with you, I mean, we had a shed. We had a massive shed, and that was full of stuff. And then 3-bedroom house with loads of things. And the person came in and thought, God, I think he thought we'd started to pack up, but that wasn't the case. And just said it was a little bit difficult to just give a quote, as it was. They weren't sure if we needed 40-foot or 20-foot container. So, it was suggested that because we were going to move our stuff into storage, and it was suggested to get a unit that is equivalent to a 40-foot container, which that does make sense. So yeah, that's what we did. We were due to move out on the house was sold. We had to be out by the 29th of July, which was the Friday. But on the Sunday, we were still, nothing was really packed. I couldn't do very much because I weren't well, and then I had all them problems with my feet. Patrick did, obviously taking furniture apart, and he did a bit wrapping stuff up, but my mum and my sister, big up yourself, Yvonne. She was such a blessing for the move. So she came on the Sunday and she said, "You actually moving?" I was like, "Why are things not packed up?" And it's like, I know, every day I'm going to do something, but, time just went, and then in a few days we've got to be out there, and we've done hardly anything. So they went to her, she came back, my sister came back, God bless her, God love her, I tell you. And then she loves packing, she loves the challenge. I hate packing. But yeah, she loves the challenge, and she came and just got stuck in and just got things done, and she was there every day from the Sunday helping. If she hadn't have done that, thank you, Yvonne. If she hadn't have done that, I don't know what would have happened. We would have, I just really don't know. Yeah, so by the Thursday, because really everything had to be packed up by 12 midnight, because we had to hand the keys over on the Friday. So Thursday, I tell you, there was all hands on deck to get it all done. So, you know, I had my brother, sisters, my friend. Oh my gosh. Big up to you, Susan. Oh gosh. I mean, because she had the transport as well. I mean, just the way that she turned up was just divine. But that's another story. It was a bit overwhelming, to be honest with you, because it had gone from, oh my God, we got all this to do, how's it going to get done with the two of us? Well, I'm out of the picture because I can't do much. And just Patrick, he couldn't manage. It's just way too much. When my sister turned up that day, I tell you, God send. That's all I can say. She's a major godsend. Yeah, so when we was moving the things to the storage unit, there was a removal van, and they were moving some furniture into storage, and we got talking, and he was basically, you know, saying that the people actually that he was doing the removal for were going to be returning to Jamaica. And so I asked him, I said, oh, what shipping company are they using? Transpakship. And he said, just use Transpakship. They're a door-to-door service. Liz is great. Don't even think. He said, look, I've been in the removal business for years, and basically the people that are moving use Transpakship. And you know, it's an excellent service, he said. He didn't really know of many other services as competitive as they are. Didn't know of any. When he was basically saying there was none worthy of mentioning, he just stuck out, just use Transpakship. Just, you won't have any worries. You won't have any problems. You'll get your door-to-door service. And, you know, lo and behold, you know, there was other people that had mentioned Transpakship. So that's how it came about for me to use their service. And I'm so glad that I did. I mean, the service is really second to none. I mean, I did find, you know, somebody else did mention another company, and I did contact them, and that particular company actually said there were 3 good companies that were competitors, and this person who's running one said, you know, Transpakship was one, their company, and another one. But she was basically saying that, you know, it was 2 of the shipping companies that if you want a decent service, go for either one of those. But I can't remember the name of the second one. I contacted her, but she didn't. Spoke to her, and she was supposed to come back to me with a quote, but she didn't. So, you know, just went with Transpakship. Having a door-to-door service is, you know, highly recommended. It just takes all the hassle out. I mean, like, one of the workers said, you know, it's one of the biggest stresses, really, moving houses, but it's on another level when you're moving country. So, you know, the first option, when I was looking at containers and shipping companies, and to have to arrange that all myself, was even trying to make the phone calls. and you know, over £20,000, and that was only going to be to get the container to Jamaica. That wasn't getting the things from the port to home. So the thing I liked as well, I like about Transpakship is the communication. I mean, Liz, as soon as she knew that the funeral was going to fall on the same day as the container, the loading of the container, she called me and she said she didn't think that because it's bank holiday, obviously everything's shut. And it's likely that I won't be able to ship on that day, but she wanted to give me enough notice. She pulled all the stops out to get this thing going, and like she'd emailed them and, you know, asked them if they honour the shipping. So they did agree to. So they did agree to do the shipping on that day, and obviously the cost changed. You know, if I agreed to pay the additional cost, which, you know, obviously I didn't really have any choice, because I needed to basically get to Jamaica by the 1st of October, so it wasn't an option, because if I didn't get to Jamaica then, I'd have to pay like a 3% fee for the house sale, you know, if the money doesn't reach the lawyer's account in time. So it's like you're caught between a rock and a hard place, and it's going to cost, so I just got to do it. So that's what we did. What I did was I contacted the storage company just to make sure that they were going to be open on that day, on the Monday, and they assured me that they would be open. But it would be reduced hours, bank holiday hours, which is 10 till 4. So that was great. The lorry or the container was due to arrive there, you know, at 10 o'clock, so that wasn't really too much of a problem. Yeah, so my friend, because she's got the van and she was moving the things up there, and she calls me and said, did you know it's closed on Monday? And I went, no, it ain't, it's open, you know, 10 till 4. She says, no, because she's just speaking to somebody and they said, oh, they're shut on Monday because they were using one of the storage units as an office, basically. So it was the office next to where our things were being kept. So I thought, oh my God. So I went up there and the manager was there, and I says, oh, what's all this? And I says, we got the container coming on Monday, the day of the funeral, and I'm told that you're not open. He says, no, we're not. You know, they're all the companies are shut down for the day because it's bank holiday. I said, I know. I spoke to you before, or I spoke to somebody, and they said that you were going to be open at 10 till 4. Well, it was originally that, but it changed. And I says, well, I had the conversation and they assured me 10 till 4. So don't you think that you should have been telling your customers that it's not going to be open? He didn't sort of say anything. And I said, so, you know, this isn't good at all. You know, we need this place to open on Monday. And he basically was saying, no, he can't open it. Can't do anything because it's a company thing. It's out of his hands. I said, surely you must be able to do something. No, he was standing his ground. He ain't going to do nothing. So I just think, okay, it's Friday and the things have to go by Monday. So I'm at the storage unit and I'm sat on the windowsill, and I just thought, well, I'm going to have to just ring round, me and my friend, ring round some storage companies and see, you know, and then we'd have to move everything from there. It was just even the thought of it, to move like a 40-foot container. We got all that stuff and we got to move them to another unit. You've got to get transport to get it there and move it to that other unit. And then, you know, for 2 days, and then only for the Monday to have to go and do more unloading and packing, and oh my God, I thought, no, this is too much. I said, this is just too much. And I sat on that window ledge, and in my heart I just said, God, step in. I said, we need divine intervention, like right now. This has to, we need things sorted out by Monday. What are we going to do? And I'll tell you, I sat there and ringing round different companies. We managed to get one, and they were saying, you know, we have to get a lorry to move the stuff there because of my friend's van. It's gonna, some of the stuff wouldn't even fit in there, and it was just going to be so much work, so much headache. And, you know, and I just thought, Denise, try not to get stressed out and try to stay calm, because you know when you get stressed, you can't think clearly, and things always appear worse than what they are. And from experience, I know that things always have a way of working themselves out, or working itself out. And then the next thing, the manager comes up with one of his workers, and she only started working there 4 weeks previously. And she, because obviously, you know, I was explaining the situation, you know, as calm as possible. And even though he was saying no, she actually said, I don't mind coming in specially and opening up. Oh, that's another godsend, you know, God bless you. You know, lovely young girl. And she came, and he said, the manager basically said, you need to get the things out. You know, we'll allow 2 hours then. And can you get it out within 2 hours? And I says, yeah, we're going to have to, it's a case of having to. So, yeah, she came in, opened up for the 2 hours, and basically we had to, because we were in like the upstairs room, and so what they told us to do is to, like on the Sunday night, the Sunday evening, just before, couple of hours or so before closing, just bring your stuff down to the loading bay, basically to make it easier rather than, you know, having to use the lift and slowing time down. So we were really thankful for that. So we did. Oh, on the day the container arrives, like I said previously, they said it was one of the worst packings they'd ever seen. They said it from England, and we got to Jamaica. Yeah, they said not good at all. So big piece of advice is get your things boxed up. If you're using a container, they have to be in boxes. So because we did have some things in boxes, but not everything. And then we just weren't packed properly. We just like kind of stuck things on top of each other. But they wouldn't put them in the container like that because it's got to be packed in a particular way. So you got the boxes, and the boxes are stacked from floor to ceiling, from the back, obviously when they go in, so everything's floor to ceiling, floor to ceiling, floor to ceiling. They said it can gradually come down, but that's why they need everything in the boxes, and then like the larger stuff, and then they can pack around things. And so boxes are mandatory, and we didn't have any, but they did. They had boxes, so we had to use their boxes, which obviously they charge for. So that's a part of their service, is that they can pack your things up, but obviously you have to pay. you know, for the boxes and the manpower to do that. So, big piece of advice, get the boxes and pack them in the boxes. Just label the boxes, and it will make life easier because they've got to know what's in the boxes as well, and they've got to write what it is. And then everything then has to be labelled, and everything has a number, and then it's all put on a list. So it was like a big operation when we was there, and we had 3 hours to load, and we had a load of people with the 2 men, and it took us 6 hours, and that's because of the boxes was a major part of it, and you know, the labelling. So for every additional hour you get 3 hours to pack. Every additional hour you pay £100, but because it was a bank holiday we had to pay £200 an hour. That's £600 right there. Anyway, I'll give the breakdown at the end of the video. Yeah, so we had a 40-foot container. We've got a 3-bed, well, in UK it's a 3-bedroom house, and we had quite a big shed with loads of stuff in. So while we gave away a lot of things, we did take most of it, and yeah, it all fit easily into the container. You know, they could have put it tighter if need be, but because they're very experienced, the packers are, and they'll get it all in. Because when I saw the size of the container and I saw all the stuff, and I'm thinking, you know, your heart's kind of in your mouth. Is it all going to fit in? Is it all going to fit in? I'm asking, is it all going to fit in? But they didn't seem worried at all. It was just like, you know, let's just crack on and get it done. So once everything is in, they lock the container and it's sealed. They put a seal on it. So there's no way that anybody can go into that container without you knowing. They take a picture of the seal, and when you get to Jamaica they do need a cutting tool to get into the container, and they'll cut it in front of you. So, you know, everything's there, everything's safe. So what I loved about Liz with Transpac is she gave me a private number. It's a bespoke service really, and that's what she does. She makes sure that everything is okay. So I have her number. She called me the Sunday before, even though she was at a christening or whatever, and she wasn't even working, but she called. We had a lengthy discussion. She talked me through, and I took notes, the process when you get to Jamaica, the people to contact. You contact this person, you contact that person. She's very thorough, very knowledgeable, knows her stuff, and you're completely at ease because they've got over 50 years experience. So, you know, personally, yeah, I'm really pleased with the service that I got from them. Yeah, so the container takes 4 to 6 weeks to get there. It actually took ours 5 weeks, and you get 7 days to clear it, well, to collect the container, and for every day after that it'll cost you $90, 90 US, not Jamaican, 90 US dollars, which is, I don't know, about, I don't know, £70, I don't know, £80, that's just a guess. Yeah. So we couldn't afford to be leaving that container there. So the problem that we had was we thought the house would have come through, the sale of the house by then, but it didn't. So now we've already put the address of where it's going to, and we can't move it there. and we can't move it to the place. We can't move the stuff to the place where we're staying because the road won't handle it. It wouldn't handle the lorry. There's just nowhere for it to turn. The roads was just way too bad to get up there, particularly where we was, and even to store the furniture. So it's like, okay, what are we going to do? So I was looking at the options, and one of the options was, well, you'd hope that there was some storage units, but it's not UK. You can't just phone up and find some storage units that don't exist. Not in the way it does in the UK. So that wasn't an option. And unless you know people yourself, it ain't happening. So I said, okay, no storage units. The other thing we can do is let's look at renting somewhere. Didn't really want to rent in Jamaica, but let's look at that as an option. And then at least, we'll have the furniture with us, and it'll be easy to get to wherever we find the place, hopefully. Oh God, and so I checked some places out, and it was like they were like coming in at like £800, £900,000, over £1,000 for a 3-bedroom property. Oh, and then you've got to give, a big deposit and all this. So that weren't really an option. A relative of Patrick's contacted us. This was one day we was at the beach, and contacted us to say, because they knew that we were looking for somewhere to rent. So they phoned us and said, oh, somebody's got a place, and come and have a look at it now. Oh, we were at the beach, but we need to just go because this is important. So told us where to meet a particular person, and in my head it was to show us where this accommodation was, this place to rent. So when we get there and we pull up, it's not a house. We were expecting a house. It wasn't. It was a storage unit, like this one storage unit that I looked at it and it didn't look that big, but they said somebody had recently moved their stuff out. They were storing them there, and that was from a 40-foot container. And so that costs like $15,000 a month, which it works out at about, at the time, the exchange rate, £90, which weren't bad at all. And it was better than because it was better. It was just better. It was going to be so much cheaper. So, I was glad for that. That was unexpected, but it was a wonderful, wonderful surprise. Yes, I think people get a bit, I certainly was, let me talk about me. It's like I just wanted to know, what is all this going to cost me? So you kind of prepare yourself for the worst. So like I said in the previous video, I had like this 3,000 figure in my head. I think I just wanted to put it way up there, especially when I learnt that, you can't really take, you can because we did, but there's no exemption with tax, so you've just got to basically pay whatever it would have cost to get in Jamaica. You're going to be paying that for it. So probably if we'd have known that, maybe we wouldn't have, but the fact that we've got the things here, we're glad about it, really. Yeah, so someone actually commented that when their stuff arrived to Kingston, they nearly fainted with what the cost was. So I'm not sure whether the person had like the returnee resident exemption form, because that will take out a lot of the cost. I mean, on arrival there, you do have to pay custom duties to the freight shipping, like the broker. So that that worked out to about 425 or so, about $73,000. Out of that money, they will pay for the locals to unload. So you saw the people helping in the previous video. I'll link that video in the description box. We had, helpers, people from the local community that helped. So the money's included in the customs duties, and so they pick up the cost, they pay. They're from, like I said, this door-to-door service is just brilliant. You've got somebody basically holding your hands all the way there. The support is there. It's really, really good, yeah. So a breakdown of the costs of our shipping in sterling. Obviously, it's not going to be the same because you're not going to get another Queen's death, are you? So that pushed it up significantly. So the original quote was 10,800 from the UK. So there's the additional fee for bank holiday, demurrage fee, the boxes and the additional packing is 2,800. So when you get to Jamaica, you have customs duties, which is £425. And like I said, out of that money, they pay the locals to help unload the container. And then to clear the building items, that was another £1,000. And then there's a detention deposit, which is refundable. And that is about £500, $633 and it is refundable. That's if the container's collected within 7 days. So the detention deposit, the fee actually goes to I don't know what company it is, but it's based in Trinidad. The accounts department is based in Trinidad. And they're not the quickest to refund. So we got it took about 4 months to get the refund back, but it wasn't a problem, to be fair. So yeah, the total cost was £15,525, and that's including the detention detention deposit. A big thank you to the viewer that made a comment. You know who you are, and that you can actually claim VAT back before leaving the UK for the cost of shipping. Now, I didn't know that. If I'd have had any inkling, I'd have certainly looked into it. So I'm just putting it out there for people who are planning on returning to Jamaica. So yeah, overall, I mean, is there anything that I would have done differently? Well, I would have, like I said previously, get those boxes. Get the boxes, get as many things into boxes as possible. I mean, we were told to, build some wooden crates, but we never got, or advised, just by others to build some wooden crates. How they look, I don't know, but we didn't do it. But definitely do bring the boxes. Yeah, the other thing that I would have not brought are anything that's, is it leatherette, whatever the word is. It's falling apart. Not advisable. I mean, even shoes, they're disintegrated. Some of them have disintegrated. It's just fallen apart. The heat just ruins them, really. So, would we ship another container to Jamaica? No. No, wouldn't do it, and that's because you can only be a returnee resident once. Do I regret shipping? Absolutely not. I am so glad we brought everything with us. Number one, people just have different preferences, that's all. So, you know, I actually like the furniture that we had. And obviously we saw the house beforehand, and we know with the furniture like settees that we got that the current flooring wouldn't go with it. And I mean, they're good quality tiles and everything, but it was just the colour scheme for us. And when you move somewhere, you put your own personal touch on it, and everybody's taste is different. Some of the things that we like, they would be difficult to get in Jamaica. You can order from Amazon, but you're going to have to pay shipping fees and all that. So all in all, even if you would have sold the things in the UK, you wouldn't get hardly anything for it. And then to go and buy them all out here, no. If you want things that kind of aren't Jamaican looking, it's going to cost a lot of money, because these items have been imported. So I have no regrets whatsoever. It sounds like a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things and seeing the bigger picture, it actually isn't. Yeah, so I'm going to attach the exemption notice that actually, from Jamaica Customs Agency, and it actually tells you, how many items of each thing and what you can bring. There's 112 there, so I'll put that in the link. And also the list of new and used household effects, and this is where you put the how much your goods are worth, your items are worth, and you're advised to down price it, bring the cost down. Oh yeah, I did forget to mention about the insurance. I didn't include that actually. I think I can't remember how much we paid. It might have been a couple hundred. I really can't remember. I didn't do a major big covering, but enough to get it through. Yeah, so the insurance is additional, and that's going to all depend on what you want to insure. And yeah, so this form, yeah, you're told to kind of, bring the price down, basically. And so I'll just, put the one that we gave them, or we use, just to give people an idea. So I do hope that information has helped somebody. And yeah, if you like the channel, please